on the streets of Weston Supermare today. We're going to be asking the people on the street what, if any, superpower would they have, and who would be their superhero sidekick. Take two.
If you had a superhero power, what power would you choose?
Invisibility, because then I can go rob like loads of stuff from shops and that.
So he could rob. Okay. If you could choose a superhero, a current superhero, as your sidekick, what
Sidekick, Batman.
Without a doubt.
So I got Batman belt.
You see that? Yeah. Boop, boop. If you could have a superhero power, what power would you choose to have?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Isn't that Captain America on your top?
It is Captain America.
So a superhero fan you are?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so free reign. What power would you like us to give you?
I would probably want a combination between Pyro from X-Men, the ability to control fire.
Nice.
But I'd also like the Human Torch's ability to create fire.
Clever.
So I wouldn't have to rely on fire around me.
Very clever. Okay, so now we're going to ask you, if you had a superhero sidekick, who would you choose?
War Machine.
War Machine?
War Machine.
I don't know who War Machine is.
War Machine is Iron Man's sidekick.
Okay.
And he's basically, he wears the Iron Man suit with a lot more guns and a huge gun on his back.
Okay, and you would choose him because he's just cool, or?
He'd be the most helpful in situations.
Go
I
on.
need to take out a tank, War Machine, there you go.
I see the pattern behind the thought. We like that. Pleasure to meet you today.
You too.
We want to know, if you had a superhero power, what power would you choose?
Teleportation.
Teleportation. Without thinking, he has chosen teleportation. Why would you choose that?
Because then I could travel the world and go anywhere.
I see. If you could have a superhero sidekick, anyone in the world, who would you choose?
Not a clue.
Not a clue, but teleportation all the way. Thank you. Pleasure to meet you. Want to know, if you could have a superhero power, what power would you choose?
I don't know.
Any superhero power in the world. Invisibility, the ability to draw, flying.
Probably flying.
Flying?
Yeah.
Cool. If you could choose a superhero sidekick, who would you choose? Personally, mine would be Jim Carrey, but he's not a superhero.
I don't know.
No, that's cool. That's enough. Okay, thank you very much. We want to know, if you had a magic power, a superhero power, what power would you choose to have? Do you have one that you'd like? Flying. That's cool. If you could have a sidekick, who would it be?
Me.
Yeah, that's cool. What's your superhero power?
I'm going to be invisible.
Quick question for our filming.
Yeah, sure. Go.
We want to know, if you were a superhero, what superpower would you have?
Oh, geez, probably time control.
Time control.
Yeah,
Incredible. Why?
Oh, mate, it's so useful.
So useful.
Yeah, if you're late for something.
I like
just make
that.
it happen.
I like that. We want to know, if you had a superhero power, what power would you choose to have?
Probably flying.
Flying.
Yeah.
Why would you choose flying? Let's turn you around and look at the camera. Come on, you tell me why flying?
It's just easier to get around.
Easier to get around?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could have a superhero sidekick, who would you choose?
Probably Superman.
Superman?
Yeah.
Any reason? Because he's cool?
Yeah, just it's the best.
Wicked. Thank you. Pleasure to meet you. We want to know, if you had a superhero power, what power would you choose to have?
I'd be invisible.
You'd be invisible.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. What about yourself?
Fire.
Fire? Nice. If you could choose a sidekick, what sidekick would you... Joker. I like this style.
Batman.
Batman.
Man, Joker is... No.
Brilliant.
Psycho got killed.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Hi. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
What superhero power would you choose to have if you could choose any?
Probably super strength.
Super strength. Let's see your muscles. No? Okay, what? No. Hey guys, can I ask you a quick question? If you could choose a superhero power to have, what power would it be? What superhero?
I don't know.
No?
To be invisible again.
I like it, I like it. Invisibility. If you had a sidekick, you could choose from anyone. Who would be your sidekick?
I don't know that.
You don't know? Cool.
Superman.
Yeah.
Superman. Would you use your power for good or bad? Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you guys. We want to know, if you had a superhero power, anything in the world, what would it be? What would you choose to?
I think
be able to fly, that'd be quite cool.
Being able to fly, cool. If you could choose a superhero sidekick, what kind of sidekick are you going to pick?
I don't know, someone that'll be loyal to me.
Loyal. Loyalty is important in a sidekick.
Yeah, someone who'll be able to fight for themselves as well.
Very important, stick up for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Batman, does he sound like he's going to be loyal?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, can be a bit independent, I guess, sometimes, but he has a good sidekick as well. So.
He does. Good for you. Would you use your superhero powers for good or for bad?
Mainly for good, I would say.
Mainly for good?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Sometimes the occasion will come up where you want to use it for bad, but mainly for good.
Okay, good for you. I want to know, if you could choose a superhero power to have, what power would you guys choose to have? Ooh, it's a tricky one. I'm sure we've all thought about it.
Being like Superman flying.
Being like Superman, flying.
Or Batman.
Or Batman, but he doesn't fly.
Yeah, but he jumps from buildings.
He jumps from buildings, see? We can do that.
I'll probably be invisible.
Invisible, okay, cool. If you could choose a sidekick,
Yeah.
what sidekick would you choose? God, it's just...
This is tough.
I know. I told you it was going to be easy, didn't I?
Yeah.
So, any sidekick in the world?
I have to go Robin just because it'd be banter.
We love a bit of banter with Robin. Yeah, that works. And yourself?
I don't know. Catwoman, come on.
Funny. Catwoman, I could see how that could be fun.
It's just like so many superheroes in my head, and I'm just thinking, well, what if I pick that one? What if I pick that one?
I see what you're saying. Would you use your powers for good or bad?
Probably bad, to be honest.
Did you hear that? He was honest about that. And
I use it if I need them.
Just use it if you need them. That works. Cool. Nice to meet you today, guys. What superpower would you choose to have if you could choose any?
I think I'd fly.
You think you'd fly? That is a good one. If you could have a sidekick, what sidekick would you choose it to be?
Does it have to be one already?
No, not at all. You can make one up.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I don't even know if I'd have a sidekick.
Independent, you're getting out there, you can fly.
Easier.
Who needs someone holding you back,
quick,
right? Cool. Would you use your hero powers for good or bad?
Depends how I feel.
Depends how he feels. You see that, we get that, heard it from your mouth. Thank you ever so much. You can go check the page out, it's called Humans of Weston. If you could have a superhero power, what would it be?
I like I don't know.
I don't know, not that easy, see, is it?
I was thinking I'd have every power Spider-Man has because I love Spider-Man.
I like that.
When you get off my back.
What sidekick would you have though?
Sam.
Sam?
Called,
is he loyal?
No, but I kind of trust him anyway.
That's good. Has Sam got any powers that he'd like to have?
Go on, Sam.
Anything. Super strength.
I just have a really useless power, so it makes me look better.
I'd want to be like Batman.
You'd want to be like Batman.
Yeah, fine. You can just be rich.
I can see that. Would you use your powers for good?
Yeah, of course.
Of course you would. Pleasure to meet you guys. You're free to go. If you could have a superhero power, what power? I know, it's a nice question. What superhero power would you choose?
Invisibility.
Invisibility and...
Regeneration.
Cool. I like it. If you could have a superhero sidekick, who would it be?
Not you.
Not him, that's funny.
I don't know, that's a hard one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that
Maybe a little Robin.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Robin, like a bird on shoulder. I don't know. Cool. That's great, guys. That's enough. We're looking to know if you had a superpower, what superpower would you choose to have?
Probably hair regrowth.
Hair-
I'm using mine.
Are you sure with a beard like that?
Not on the top of my head, I'm not.
Okay, funny. So regeneration of hair.
Yep.
That's what this
Or
gentleman.
invisibility.
Or invisibility, which sounds a little bit cooler.
Because I could just leave and then no one would know, would they?
I'd say like flying and invisibility.
Flying and invisibility.
Or maybe swimming underwater, being able to swim
This guy's a
underwater.
bit of a superhero. Talk to him.
That guy's a superhero. Okay.
Yes.
So if you had a superhero sidekick, who would you choose? Each other.
Sorted.
That's cool, man. Okay. Thank you very much. If you had a superhero power, what superhero power would you choose?
Flying. Straight away.
Flying, without a doubt. She was quick off the mark. She was quick off the mark.
I think mine would be whatever I read, I retain.
Clever.
So you
That's
sound a lot more intelligent than I do.
that's a really smart one to have. If you could have a superhero sidekick, who would it be? Batman? Just because he's ripped, or
Really cool.
Batman is just really cool. Yourself?
Probably have like the Hulk.
The Hulk. Any specific reason, or just like green?
Protect me, wouldn't he?
He would protect you. We all need a strong man.
I'm not
yeah,
that-
My husband's pretty strong.
Yeah, the Batman has got such a cool car. That is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Cars, strength, we got that. Thank you, girls. Have a magnificent day. If you guys had a superhero power, what superhero power would you choose to have? You don't
I
know.
would control time.
You would control time. What would you do with it? What would you do when you're controlling time?
Like, if I'm at work, I'll just fast forward it.
Clever.
Use it
If
for
he's at
yourself.
work, he'd fast forward it. I'd do the same. You guys? He just does not know. He would like the ability to think. Joking, I shouldn't say
We
it.
have the ability to rewind time, fix a few mistakes.
We're like time lords over here. Fix the mistakes. Okay, that's cool. So we want to know, if you were a superhero and you could choose any power, what power would you choose to have?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it?
I don't know, something along the lines of like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah, that's we like Spider-Man. If you could choose a superhero sidekick, who would it be?
I think you go with the Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder, yeah, we like that. Thanks. Okay. If you had a superhero power, what superhero power would you choose to have?
Weirdly enough, I've thought about this quite a bit.
Okay, we're going to get an in-depth.
I would definitely go for invisibility.
Why?
Because, just because, like, I'm actually disappeared. Just gone.
Where's he gone? Where's he gone?
You could
Okay.
do so much stuff if you were invisible.
You could.
Rob a bank, definitely.
You would do that?
Probably.
He said that on
I
camera.
would definitely rob a bank if I could turn invisible. That's
Okay.
for sure.
If you had to choose a superhero sidekick, any one of your choice, who would it be?
Ooh, probably Robin.
Robin?
Gotta be Robin.
Why is that?
Resourceful.
I
Very resourceful.
like your resourceful thinking. That's cool. Any of you guys?
Yeah, I've thought about it a lot.
Superhero powers.
My superhero power would have to be changing my size
Okay.
at will.
Why? Why is that?
Why?
Why is that a need?
Because you can travel from different countries as quickly as you like, because you can grow as big as the universe. You can also take yourself all the way to the moon just by going whoop, okay, grab the moon. I will grow small on the moon, exactly where my finger is.
And he did say that he's put a lot of thought into this.
I have put a lot of
if
thought
you
into
could
this.
choose a sidekick, who would it be?
The Hulk, just so then we're both just as awesome as each other, and then we'll have just the
Are you
most
as strong as
amazingest
the
time.
Hulk?
Well, if you could grow
Hey, if I can grow as big as I like, I can grow my muscles as big as I like.
He's got a point. What superhero power would you choose to have if you were a superhero?
I'll be invisible.
You'd be invisible, right?
Yeah.
We practically can't see you anyway.
Well, yeah, I'm so invisible.
So yeah, if you were a superhero and you had to choose a sidekick, who would it be?
You.
Is it because I'm super strength? I want to know, if you had a superhero power, what superhero power would you choose to have?
Immortal.
Immortability.
Yeah.
That's
I'd probably fly.
You'd fly.
Yeah, I want to.
Okay, that cool. That works.
Yeah.
If you could have a superhero sidekick, who would it be?
Probably her.
Ah,
Maybe
that's
romantic.
cute. You guys dating?
Yeah.
Ah, that is
No,
sweet.
I don't know. I'm not really into superheroes that much.
Okay.
Harry, like maybe Harry Potter because he's got
I'm
the
a superhero.
No,
Yeah,
but he's
listen.
not a superhero. It's fictional.
That-
And like
yeah.
they've got the invisibility capes, haven't they? So
That's
he could
right.
like take me under it.
That's cute. That works. Thank you, guys. If you were a superhero, what power would you have? Oh, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
To be able to fly.
To be able to fly.
Yeah.
A popular choice. Nice. And a sidekick. Who would be your sidekick?
Batman.
Nice. And what would you call yourself? Flying man.
Yeah, flying man.
Hey, you guys, can I ask you a quick question on camera?
Just one.
It is, well, there's two, but it's fun.
We're not married.
That's important. Good to know.
Is that going to be question two?
Well, part of the psychic question. However, if you had a superhero power, what power would you choose to have?
Invisibility.
Yes, okay, all right. Keeping it real.
I feel
What
pretty
did
invisible as it is. That's just amazing.
Who said that? Funny. If you could have a sidekick, apart from each other, who would it be?
Oh,
Catwoman.
Very clever. See what
The
we did there?
the one who recently died.
Oh.
From the original Batwoman on TV series.
Okay, yes. You like that, lady?
She was a large part of my formative years.
Too funny.
Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne? Yeah, he makes a good sidekick.
I think I'd fit quite well with him.
Thanks, guys. If you had a superhero power, what superhero power do you think that you would have?
I'd probably go for immortality.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, if you could choose a sidekick, who would it be?
Sidekick, Superman.
Superman? We like Superman. He's a popular choice as a sidekick.
Good, yeah.
He's strong. He's
Yeah.
going to help you out. Loyal and honest. Important factors to have in a sidekick. Cool. Would you use your powers for good or bad?
Oh, it's got to be good.
He's an honest guy.
Yeah.
Him and
honest guy.
Superman going to be like that. Cool.
And if you want to buy any superheroes,
Yeah.
I've got the toy shop down the road and we sell lots.
What are the chances? What are the chances?
So I've just ordered Batman and every superhero. Deadpool's coming soon,
Deadpool
which is going to be a
totally
really good
coming.
superhero. That's going to be the one with all the clothing coming as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. That is
Have a
amazing.
nice
It's
day.
been a pleasure to meet you.